voice in the woods. When I was 14, my friends and I loved exploring the woods behind our town. There was an old trail that led deep into the forest, far beyond where most people ever went. Everyone knew one rule. If you hear someone calling your name from the woods, don't answer. We laughed about it. It sounded like a stupid campfire story. One Saturday evening, 4 of us decided to hike farther than we'd ever gone before. The sun was setting, and the trees were so thick that the forest was already getting dark. About an hour into the hike, we found an abandoned hunting cabin. The windows were broken. The roof sagged. It looked like nobody had been there for decades. We went inside to look around. Dust covered everything. Then my friend Ethan froze. "Did you hear that?" We listened. At first there was nothing. Then a voice drifted through the trees outside. "Ethan." It was faint but clear. His face turned pale. "That's my mom." We all laughed nervously. His mother couldn't possibly be miles into the woods. The voice came again. "Ethan." This time it sounded closer. The laughter stopped. Without another word, Ethan stepped toward the door. I grabbed his arm. "Don't." He stared at me. That sounded exactly like her. Then another voice echoed through the forest. This time it called my name. My stomach dropped. It sounded exactly like my older brother. Not similar. Exactly. The same voice. The same tone. The hairs on my neck stood up. We suddenly remembered the old warning. If you hear your name, don't answer. The voices continued. One by one, each of us heard someone familiar calling from the darkness. A parent. A sibling. A friend. The calls grew closer every minute. Soon they sounded like they were circling the cabin. That's when we heard footsteps. Crunch. 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 Something was walking outside. Slowly. We peeked through a broken window. At first, I couldn't see anything. Then I noticed a figure standing between the trees. It was tall. Far too tall. Its arms hung almost to the ground. And it wasn't moving. Another figure appeared behind it. Then another. They stood perfectly still, watching the cabin. The voices stopped. The silence was worse. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then every figure took one step forward at the same time. We ran. We burst out the back door and sprinted through the woods. Branches whipped against our faces. Behind us, we heard footsteps crashing through the forest. Not one set. Many. We didn't look back. After what felt like forever, we reached the edge of town. The sounds vanished. We finally stopped running and looked behind us. The woods were quiet. Empty. A week later, Ethan's father took us back to find the cabin. We never found it. The trail ended at a thick patch of trees. There was no clearing. No cabin. No sign that anything had ever been there. Years have passed, but I still remember those voices. And sometimes, when I'm alone at night, I hear my name being whispered outside my window. The voice always sounds familiar. And it always asks the same question. Why didn't you answer?